All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday morning. I am about to go and pick up my brother-in-law from his rehabilitation hospital where he's been doing physical therapy for the last few weeks. So let's get on the road and see how Tesla full self-driving supervised version 12.5.6.3 does going to the Woodlands. Let's go. All right, and we're off. Beautiful day today here in the greater Houston metropolitan area. It is 67 degrees right now. Oh, and by the way, it is about 9:45 in the morning, 9:45 a.m. Central Standard Time. Very sunny, no clouds, 67 degrees, crisp air, little bit of a breeze, not too much, just about perfect. Just about perfect. If you're a golfer, this is your weather right here. This is about as good as it gets because it's sunny, no discernible winds out of either location, but just a slight breeze. So you're going to be able, well, most of my friends that love to golf don't walk, but if you did walk, be a perfect day to do that. So, all right, we got a four-way stop there. Did great, but we didn't have any other vehicles to contend with, so we'll see how that goes later. If we will, it's Houston, so we will definitely run into other four-way stops. Okay, we're going to come up here to North Park Drive. We have a stoplight, but it is legal to turn right on a red light in Texas. So we'll creep up a bit to make sure oncoming traffic isn't coming. And there we go. Once we ascertain that, we could have probably ascertained that about a second or so, a little quicker, because as you can tell in front of me, the left turning lane on North Park was turning. But again, I'm fine with one extra second of cautiousness just to make absolutely sure, seeing that that light had just changed for the oncoming traffic. So all good. All right, we got another traffic light coming up here as we continue to progress along North Park Drive, and it turns red on us. Yeah, so I am picking up my brother-in-law, Sin, from, like I said, from a hospital in the Woodlands. So in case you haven't seen any of my previous Tesla FSD videos, my brother-in-law, who is a construction worker and was working on a project up in Kentucky, started having some issues about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Well, about a month and a half ago, and felt some tingling in his extremities, his arms and his legs. And at first didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it other than observe it. And quite frankly, just to tell you, construction workers, especially at his age, he's mid-40s, you just have to live with some pain. They're gonna always have some pain in their body. So that's like my brother-in-law and all his buddies laugh, like, our 100% is their 70%. It's like, as long as you can get them to 70%, they're good to go. But so yeah, but then he felt it, but didn't, it didn't alter anything he was doing. And then one day it just got too much, and he knew he needed to go to the hospital. And so he got in his truck, drove 25 miles to the nearest emergency room from where their construction project was, because they were in Kentucky, and they were in rural Kentucky where they were doing their construction project. So he had to drive 25 miles to Louisville and get to the emergency room, which, knowing what he's been through now, is just a miracle that he was actually able to drive for 25 miles in his truck. We got some road construction coming up here on both the left and the right. The road is actually altered, as you can see right here. We handle that perfectly. This is something Google Maps isn't going to know about. So you really got to be based on vision for something like this. I mean, they've literally altered the road. Like, as far as Google Maps is concerned, we are driving in the median right now on North Park Drive, and it should be telling us to get the hell off the median. But the vision has, you know, taking in the other vehicles, the road markings, the sign, that it's able to factor all that in. But I'm telling you, C++ hard coding would probably struggle with not just the road construction, but the fact that the road itself was completely altered. The path was altered. Like I'm saying, as far as Google Maps is concerned, we are literally driving on the grassy median right now, because that's what this used to be for the longest period of time. So yeah, anyway, going back to my brother-in-law, yeah, so he got to the emergency room, and sure enough, he had 2 discs in his neck and spine. I should say, is it 2 or is it 4? Well, one's enough, right? But he had discs that had no spinal fluid. So there was some spots in his neck and his spine where it was just completely gone, and it was just rubbing together, you know, disc to disc, bone to bone, and you can imagine. So obviously it was causing parts of his body to go numb and tingle and, you know, other stuff. So about 3 weeks ago, it's probably been about 3 weeks now, he was able to get surgery. They performed surgery on his neck and his spine, and my wife and I drove up to Kentucky in my Tesla. We drove up to Louisville, Kentucky to be there with him. Okay, oh good, we made it through that light. We are going to, before I continue on with my brother-in-law, since this is a Tesla FSD video, maybe I ought to talk about FSD a little bit too. There we go, good job. We slow down for the car turning in front of us. We're gonna continue on up to the traffic light ahead of us. 59 East Tex Freeway is directly ahead of us. We are gonna get into the right turning lane, put on our right blinker, and we are gonna turn right onto the feeder of 59 East Tex Freeway. And this feeder and this part of 59 is going northbound. So again, like I said, you can turn right on red in Texas, but we need to make sure that we have a gap, and we do. And especially here, you want to make sure you have a gap, because the stated speed limit is 55, but I'm telling you, a lot of the folks ripping through here are going 65 to 75. So and believe me, I know, I've been T-boned right there. And so you gotta keep your head on a swivel. Thank God I was in a Tesla with FSD, because that saved my life. So anyway, going back to my brother-in-law, well, let me hold that again. Let's put a pin in that. We're about to get up on 59 East Tex Freeway going northbound. So we're about to get our second day of the highway stack. End-to-end neural nets. Nothing but nets, baby. Photons in, controls out, vision-based, human brain. It's like they took the best brains in the... God, this is just swift. Are you seeing... I mean, are y'all seeing this? Like, it's just... like, no hesitation. and bam, we're immediately at 77 in a 65. Like, Tesla FSD supervised version 12.5.6.3 drives like a Marine in East Texas. I don't know how the hell it must have a ton of video for me, because it is not driving like it is driving confidently, smoothly, like a human, and like the best human. And the best humans are going to be Marines from East Texas. I'm totally joking right now. Yeah, it is just full of spit and vinegar and confidence right now. Love it. It is night and day different. The feel. And it's hard, it may be hard to portray through the video camera, but I feel it in my butt. Sitting, well, that didn't come out right. You just feel it when you're sitting in the car. Yeah, I'm gonna rephrase some of my terminology there, but you know what I'm saying. All right, now we're getting back over. Geez Louise, it's just so good. I love it. That is, they say it's more human-like. I'm gonna let me see how it goes off on. It's gonna turn here. Man, that is so perfect. Smooth, zero roboticism, I'm from Texas, and our governor was once George H.W. Bush. We are allowed to make up words down here. So I'm gonna say that was robotistrategery. Anyway, that was smooth. So what I was gonna say is, they say this is more human-like on the highway. I mean, this is better than a human. This is smooth, confident, and imagine being the most smooth and confident driver and add 6 more eyeballs to that person, with some of them in the back and the side. Now, first of all, you're probably going to avoid that individual. They're going to look like something out of Star Wars. It'd be like if you saw, if I told you the best driver in the world and he's got 8 eyeballs, and some of them are in the back and the side, you're going to think you're going into that bar in Star Wars. But no, that's what it feels like right now. And now we're getting up on Highway 99. Again, this is this one even more so, because I think the speed limit, it's 70 right now, but it gets up to 75. So I'm gonna be real curious to see. So this is like your typical Texas state highway, not like interstate stuff, like state highway, where there's places where they have the speed limit at 75, and in some cases even 80 miles an hour. That's the speed limit. So let's just see, we're going 77 in a 70, so nothing bonkers right now, and not a whole lot of traffic on this part of Highway 99 right now. But we're going to be on here for about 11 miles. We're going to take this to Interstate 45, I-45 North, going towards the Woodlands. All right. So I was in about I had 3 different pins and 3 different things. Let me see what I was talking. Well, we talked about how smooth it was. Give me a second here. Yeah, we talked about my brother-in-law. So yeah, we drove up there to Kentucky to be with him for his surgery. And then we stayed up there for another week. Got an Airbnb and stayed in Louisville for a week to be there and go spend time with him in the hospital and stuff. So always you got to do that with family. You know, it's always good, like, especially when you're going through something like that, to see familiar faces that you know love you. So we wanted to be there for that. And then when he was cleared to be discharged from that hospital, we drove him home here to Houston, Texas. We got up early in the morning, drove through the day, and got home at night. Tesla FSD did fantastic. Yeah, and then the next day, we got him admitted into a rehabilitation and physical therapy hospital. So they have hospitals that specifically focus just on physical therapy and rehabilitation. And they do it in-house, and obviously it's for the most severe, significant rehab issues. So now he is done with that. He's being discharged this morning. I'm going to take him home, and he'll start doing physical therapy at home. He'll still go to a local PT in the area town we live in, but that'll only be once a week for a few hours, and the rest of it he'll just do at home. And then here in a couple of months, he'll go in for his second and last surgery. They got to go back in and do some surgery on his back as well. They just can't do those at the same time. So when they did his neck and spine surgery, they can't also do your back. So now he's got to go in for that. He'll probably go through the entire process all over again. But I'll tell you what, you got to do it, because health is everything. And they'll get, like I said, they'll get him back up to 70, 80%. And within 3 to 4 months from now, he'll be good to go. Probably be better than he was before that, because he'll have had time to recoup. And he's in his mid-40s, so he's still young. So it's good to go ahead and get that done now while you still got some good decades left in your back and your neck and your spine. And your body's young enough to recuperate a little bit quicker. And yes, I am calling mid-40s young, because I'm mid-50s. I'm 55, so 44, 45 is a youngster. If you're 45 years old, you were still jumping off the school bus to say hi to mommy when I was jumping into hot LZs as a Marine. I'm just kidding. That's stupid. Well, I was, but I gotta pick my jokes a little better. I gotta stress test them, because they work in my own head, but they don't always translate. Although I do think the majority of my audience is middle-aged dudes like me, so maybe the jokes do translate, like dad jokes. It's like dad jokes on steroids. All right, we're doing great here. We're just content. We're going 79 and a 70. I thought the speed limit was going to go up to 75 along here for some reason, and maybe it doesn't. But yeah, we're perfect. So we're 79 and a 70. There's traffic ahead of us and behind us, but nobody nearby. So we're just cruising. We're just absolutely, and the speed selection is perfect. Perfect. And by the way, I can't remember. I think, yeah, it treats this like the highway and not the city stack. Because there was a time where there were certain state and county highways and byways that might be a 65 or 70 mile per hour speed limit, and the software was still treating it like the city stack. But now that doesn't matter. It's all neural nets. It's all nets, baby. I think I said that twice. Now we're going 80 and a 70. Perfect. Going by the 4X IMAX screen over there. Highly recommend going checking that out if you live in the Houston area. Those IMAX places are so cool. I really love it when they do like the nature stuff. You know, like I love animals, and so, you know, anything on like gorillas or chimpanzees, or any sort, you know, just anything that they'll spend time and really get out there and get with the, and then when you put it on these IMAX screens, man, it's just amazing. All right, we got about another 3 miles on Highway 99, and we will get on to Interstate 45. Making sure my camera's still doing good. Doing great. We've creeped up to 71 degrees, so when we started out this drive, we were at a crisp 68, 69, and now we're at a balmy 71. Now, 71 and sunny with no humidity and a light breeze. It's basically like Southern California for a month or two. We just don't have the scenery. We don't have the scenery, but on the other hand, we also don't have the taxes and the craziness and a 1,500 square foot home that costs $5 million bucks. So, just gotta weigh the scales. You know, and I can tell you this from personal experience. This place with the scenery, you can always visit it as much as you want to. And I visit quite a bit because I love Southern California. I love it. Absolutely love it. There's a couple of places in SoCal that are my absolute favorite places on earth. I mean, no doubt about it. I won't do it right now under the current situation that they have there, but I would live in certain spots in San Diego or Huntington Beach in a heartbeat. I'm a former military, you know, I'm a Marine veteran, and so let me halt that. Let me put a pin in that one because we got to get off on an exit here pretty soon. Got about a quarter of a mile, so we went ahead and got over to the right to get off on the 45 exit and then take the on-ramp. Well, actually, I don't think this is an on-ramp. I think you got to get down onto a feeder. I don't think they have an on-ramp yet directly from Highway 99 going 45 north. They do for 45 south, but they haven't constructed the one for 45 north yet. So, yep, we're getting off, and we will get on the feeder to go northbound on Interstate 45. Very smooth, getting over to the right, got a right blinker on. Get up to the traffic light. Well, it just turned green, so we're good to go. So we got to think about that. All right, now we are on the feeder, and we will be on the feeder for a couple of miles and then get up on I-45 for a bit. I like that. Okay, so the lane was merging over from the left to the right, and there have been previous versions of Tesla FSD software that once it gets on the feeder, it just immediately gets all the way over to the left, even if that lane is getting merged out. So it would get all the way over to the left and then need to merge back over and literally wait until the last second to get back over. And if there's a lot of traffic, or traffic coming up behind you, it may have to stop and wait for that traffic to clear before it could get back over. And it's just like, why? That one was really smooth. It got over, but it obviously recognized that the next lane over was about to merge and go away. So I like that. Very comfortable for the supervisor. Now, if you're in the back seat and you're not supervising, you could give a crap about either of those scenarios, right? But Well, I take that back. I think somebody riding in the back of an Uber, if they're paying attention, they would be like, dude, why are you getting over there? It's about to merge out. So leave it alone. All right. Yeah, so I put a pin in that thing about SoCal. So yeah, as a Marine veteran, I visited, well, obviously I lived in San Diego for a while as a Marine, when I was on active duty, so not as a civilian. And let's see, we got about another half mile. We have gotten all the way over into the right lane of the feeder. So I'm curious, it shows us getting up on I-45. Now granted, we still got 0.4 miles to go, but it's interesting that it put us all the way. We're going 50 and a 45, so the speed is not, I mean, that's perfect. Yeah, we're going 50 in a 45 mile per hour speed limit zone. So absolutely perfect. All right, now it's getting over to, oh, we're getting over to the left to start getting up. Let's see. All right, now we gotta, yeah, see, we had to contend. We did perfectly there. Now we're getting up on I-45. Great job. Oh, we got an emergency. We got an ambulance right behind us. Let's see what well, we're already in the rightmost lanes. Let's see how we do with emergency. Well, I don't even know if it just depends, because we are in a very, very wide interstate now. So I'm not sure it's even going to be relevant. It would have been relevant had we still been down on the feeder, I think. I don't know. We'll see. We may be off of this before they even get up behind us. I don't even know. Sometimes those emergency vehicles, oh, I see something ahead of us. Let me see. Maybe that's where they're going. Well, no, that's a police officer. I don't know if the emergency vehicle's going there or not. Now we are going 73 and a 65. Car just got out from in front of us and now we're speeding up. We're going 74 and a 65, doing great. Just keeping an eye out for that emergency vehicle. We're going 75 and a 65, but we're pulling away from the emergency vehicle, and nobody else seems to be really trying to get over either. I think because there's just there's traffic here, but it's not congested. I mean, obviously you're going to be able to get around this pretty easily. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get to see a test of how it reacts to emergency vehicles, because quite frankly, the way we're reacting is by pulling away, as is most of the other traffic on the highway right now. So yeah, did not get that scenario. Would have been more interesting if it was a lot more congested and traffic was going slower, because then the expectation is that you get all the way over to the right and get the hell out of their way. But right now they're not even going along with traffic. So interesting. All right, we've started making our move over to the right. We've got 0.9 miles to get off on our exit. We got a big semi moving over to the left directly in front of us. We handle that perfectly. We get over to the right, get around that semi, start moving towards our exit. Got an Amazon Prime semi delivering all of y'all's Christmas toys, Christmas presents. So I will not get in their way. Or I should say Tesla FSD will not get in their way. I ain't doing crap other than supervising. All right, about another quarter mile, we'll get off on our exit. And so, yeah, I was talking about San Diego and Huntington Beach. Huge former military, like retired military veterans communities there. And so every time I go, number one, it's just gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous there in San Diego, and that whole coastline, Seal Beach, Huntington Beach, Newport Beach, that whole area right there. And it's just chock full of, let me just be blunt, dudes like me. Dudes that love Southern California, but they're military veterans. Here comes the emergency vehicle. Everyone's slowing down, including me. And here they go. Oh, we did sort of. That one's still even hard because, again, it's not congested. And we did get out of their way. We got over here to a turning lane, but we're gonna have to get back over once they're clear. So that's interesting. But now we got to get back over. So we did get out of their way, but we got to get back over. Are we gonna make it? That car's letting us. So we did get out of the way there, but then those cars weren't letting us back over. And let me wave, that truck did let us back over. Interesting. So we were, that is interesting. We did, in fact, move over to the left to get out of the way as much as we could because there were vehicles over there. But once we could get to the left, we got to the left. But then when the emergency vehicle cleared through and we needed to get back over to the right, the vehicles there weren't letting us over until the very end. And that nice gentleman in a Ford F-150, that white Ford F-150, let us back over. So I gave him a wave, but it was like right at the last second, and you saw we had to stop there. But that's because those folks didn't get out of the way of the emergency vehicle. So Tesla FSD did something that manual drivers weren't doing. Now I'm gonna be devil's advocate for those human drivers. Traffic was kind of flowing along okay, and quite frankly, that ambulance had their lights on, but they were not going B to the W. Like, if I'm gonna be honest with you, if my life is on the line and I'm in the back of that ambulance, and all right, let me pay attention to this first. So yeah, I'm gonna need to give it a little bit of an intervention here because there's a median right there that it did not pick up on, and that protects you. And it wasn't picking up on that. So we actually had a protected lane there. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's tough to see that median right there that protects you. And so yeah, I would have let it play out, but there was a car right behind me and you heard their honk. And quite frankly, the reason why I even allowed them to honk is because I didn't even see that small median. I don't know, median may not be the right word, but, or maybe it is. But anyway, it's like one of those 6 to 9 inch concrete, small median pavements there. So it's there to protect the traffic needing to do a U-turn and give them a protected lane. But Tesla FSD wasn't picking up on the fact that was there and that it was protected. And so I also didn't pick up on that, at least for a second or two. And then by the time I did, the car behind me honked. So had there not been cars behind me, I might have let that play out and just see if the cameras eventually picked up. Well, eventually the cameras wouldn't even have to pick it up. Oh, I must have been looking out the side of the window there a little bit too much. All right, we are about to take a right here should be coming up on the hospital. But yeah, I might have let that play out, but you know, the cameras didn't pick up on it. But that one is obviously not a big deal, because eventually it would have gone, because there would have been a gap. There would have been no vehicles. So that was 100% entirely a comfort intervention right there. All right, going in slow over that speed bump. Thank you very much. We've made it to the hospital parking lot, so let's just see what we do here in the parking lot real quick. And then I will, if it doesn't park us perfectly, I will go repark us and go pick up my brother-in-law. All right, let's see what we do here. It is pulling around to the front, and here we are. Well, this is not the best part. I don't think they would approve of us just like, hey, here we are, dump them out. All right, so I'm gonna go repark and go pick up my brother-in-law, and when I see y'all next, I will have my brother-in-law in the car. I'll ask him if he's okay with me running the video. He ought to be okay with me running the video, but I'll ask him if he's okay with the audio as well. So hopefully I don't have to mute this. He's pretty cool, so we'll just see. All right, I will see y'all in a little bit. Bye-bye.
I've been through the, man, they said they missed me. There's some fine nurses in there. Some fine physical therapists.
They liked you?
Yeah.
Let me make sure I got my stuff all set up here. All right. So you enjoyed your time in there?
Yeah, I did. They said they're gonna miss me. Like they said, I'm quite a character. I made them laugh, and they enjoyed my time.
Well, that doesn't surprise me at all. So you got to come back up and visit them, man.
Yeah, I'll be back in 3 months.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, after your you got to have your back surgery, right?
Yeah. Jeez, I think that one's gonna hurt more than the neck one. The neck
back one?
Yeah, the neck one, I really don't even feel it.
So you think the back one is going to be worse than the, like your aftermath, you mean?
Yeah, they got to put a catheter in my penis.
Oh, geez,
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. For why? Why do they got to do that for back surgery?
Because I'm not able to pee.
Damn, because it goes that far back in your back.
I think something. Yeah, it's just crazy. I'm not looking forward to that. My buddy already told me about that. He's like, you know what, the one thing that I don't miss. I mean, he's like, back surgery's cool, but they got to stick a catheter in your piss hole. You got to have that in.
Oh God, that. And how long you got to have that in for? Ooh-wee. This is a busy feeder right here, man. Every time that I've come to see you, man.
Yeah.
There was one time I was at this feeder, it seemed like 3 to 4 minutes. It's just so busy, but it makes sense. We're right off of 45.
Yeah. And it's gonna get worse too as the year progresses.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
2028 is gonna be like jam packed.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Woodlands.
Yeah.
It creeped up there a little bit, but it didn't find a big enough gap. Man, this is just, whew, Lord. And it wants to be safe, which I agree with, especially especially with you in the car. I don't want to like get in a, like the last thing I want to do is get rear-ended with you just getting done with.
Oh no, we'll get paid, Jason.
No, I don't.
We'll get paid millions. Shoot, that's yeah, I can retire on that.
Oh man,
my buddy's got a lawsuit right now. Someone rear-ended him.
Oh really?
And he's got pins on his back, and he's still working, but yeah, he's got doctors and everything, and all the nuts and bolts in his came loose.
Oh, he already had pins,
yeah,
and then he got. Good Lord!
There's a lot of people that had back surgery like what I'm about to get, but no one I know had back and neck surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, and so they couldn't do both of them at the same time, right?
Yeah. I don't know why he didn't just take both of them disc out.
Well, you know, they don't want to do more than they absolutely have to. All right, here we go.
Yeah, but if I got to go for a second surgery in my neck, then that's they're trying to make money now. They're trying to profit.
Well, I don't know if they can do both surgeries at the same time, because that would be pretty dangerous.
No, but he was supposed to take pull.
Oh, I got you. So they didn't pull both of them out?
Yeah.
But how have you been feeling since? Like, are you starting to get, I know last time, make sure that there we go. You've been feeling a lot better, right? I know you're still trying to get all of your senses back, but.
Yeah, I've been feeling a lot better than how I was. Like, you seen how much pain I was in.
Yeah.
And everybody didn't believe, like, you know, what kind of pain I was in. They're like, until I went to the emergency room, they're like, wow, I can't believe you've been driving. And
yeah, I couldn't believe you were actually, after knowing what you went through, the fact that you were able to drive yourself for 25 miles to the emergency room.
Yeah. Well, how about drive myself to work every morning?
Well, yeah.
I'm able to drink a beer and walking in my hotel room. I barely made it to the hotel room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I made it through 6 weeks of physical therapy. If they would have diagnosed the neck, it would have probably been a different situation where I probably could have kept my senses.
Yeah. Yeah. Although since now we know that was eventually going to go out on you anyway, because it was ready to go. You didn't have any spinal fluid.
Oh, I didn't? Oh, wow. They didn't tell me that.
I thought you told me that, or somebody told me that you, like, that's what that was, because they were rubbing together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's the only way they rub together.
I think there's some things they're not telling me.
Like what?
Like I probably had like a mini stroke, didn't even know it.
Well, the care you're getting is basically like if you had a stroke.
Yeah.
But you're feeling better now, right?
Yeah. I'm getting, so short-term disability.
How does that compare to your, forget about OT, take overtime off the table, like just a straight 40, how does that compare to your straight 40? Okay, so it's 80%.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's actually 66.6%.
Well, then how? Well, they're going to tax short-term disability too.
Yeah. Okay. So
you gross to gross.
I didn't know they was going to take taxes out.
Yeah, they tax everything. Oh, you get income, man. They're going to tax it.
I thought that's a check written out to me. They say that's what I'm take home.
Oh, then the short-term disability must be greater. Oh, because they're going to, no, you get it taxed.
Yeah.
I mean, a tax man, you know, that's a good question though, Sin. There's very few forms of income that don't get taxed. And I'm pretty doggone sure short-term disability does. But let me check on that for you. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But there aren't many, like, anytime you get a check,
yeah,
guess who's going to want to have their hands on it?
But you know what? They probably don't tax Social Security, or they're one of the tax.
Well, they tax Social Security.
Or medical, you know what I mean? Medical, something. They tax, but not the full tax.
Not the full that you're, or let me see how, we've got a lane closure up here, so I'm just going to be ready to go here.
It does it by itself, or you drop it?
It just did that by itself. There we go. Yep. But I was ready. You saw me there.
Yeah.
I was ready. I was like, it did. I wonder why it waited so late on that one though. I knew it was going to pick it up, but it just went. And I think it's because there was so much traffic to our right as well.
Yeah.
So it's just sizing that up. But you were like, is he going to pick that up? You were like, we are really about to get paid, but it's going to be you, JC. Your insurance company.
Woodlands Malls are great.
Yeah, Woodlands Mall is, I honestly, I think the Woodlands Mall is better than the Galleria now.
Yeah.
I mean, the Galleria is still like the linchpin of Houston, like for mega, but I mean, it's the Galleria. But the Woodlands Mall is so good. And they got just about everything that the Galleria does, other than a skating rink, I guess. You know, they got that skating rink in the middle.
Oh, they got an axe store right here?
Yep, they got everything there. That's a gun store, rifle range, axe throwing. Basically, you can go in there and let your inner redneck just shine through.
Axe throwing usually come with like drinks and stuff.
Say that again?
There's usually a bar with the axe throwing.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's something I'd want to mix those two things. Like, I'm cool with dudes hanging out drinking, and I'm cool with dudes hanging out throwing axes. I don't know if those two should be combined. Somebody's gonna lose an arm or a leg. They won't feel it because they'll be drunk.
Two's at work, right?
Yeah, she's at work. She's at
I can get my drink on.
Hey. But at the end of the day, you are a grown adult man, which means you can do whatever the hell you see fit. But also, as a grown adult man, you also know that you don't want to be back in the same situation all over again, right?
Yeah. I mean, because they got a smoking section right there for the clients, for the patients.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, well, we can't, it's their life, we can't control them, but we recommend that you don't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys are supposed to, now you guys tell me on the last day?
Well, it's probably good you took a break anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the nicotine patches started irritating my skin. And
Oh, did it?
Yeah. If I just got out of surgery, I'm not, I can't.
I just wouldn't.
No, yeah.
Because just FYI, she has definitely been like, make sure he doesn't, and I'm like, babe, he's an adult man, so you may want to just take that into consideration too. And I'll tell you is like, look, at the end of the day, I didn't tell him he could do it, baby. I didn't tell him. But no, that's what I told too. I was like, babe, he's a like he can do whatever the. And she agreed. You know her. She's just being like mama bear.
Yeah. Well.
And she, you know, she went through this with your dad, right?
Well, my dad had a stroke. I had back surgery. You know,
Yeah.
neck surgery from working, and you know, what I mean, I just overdid myself and tried to overdo myself.
Yeah.
But I wish I would have caught on to myself.
Yeah.
Before it even got to here, but it would have got to here anyways.
No, it wouldn't, because this had nothing to do with like this had to do with, you know, how hard you work.
Yeah.
And your body just basically said, nah. Because that's I mean, like, when it comes to neck and spine, that doesn't have anything to do with, like, you know, that is almost entirely the fact that you're a construction worker.
Yeah.
And you work hard. You work your ass off. Like your employers always say that, right?
Yeah.
You're the hardest worker out there. You just grind.
I'm still gonna grind. This
Yeah, you'll do it, but you can't do it right now.
Yeah.
The only thing you're gonna be grinding is the view.
3 months, I might be able to take some classes. I should pull up.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, do some stuff online while you're. Hey, while you're going through, you know, get your short-term disability. First of all, that's great that you're damn near getting 70% through short-term disability, because not everyone is that good. Some of them are only half.
Yeah.
So that's really damn good that you're. Like I said, I'll check the IRS rules on that, but you could be right that they don't take any money out. Like your paycheck, you never even see it, right?
Yeah.
It's coming right out before you even get paid. So you're getting paid net. So let me check on that with short-term disability to see if so you know what it might be with short-term disability. Then this is just me spitballing, because you got to remember, yes, I am a retired accountant, but I wasn't a tax accountant.
Yeah.
I was a financial accountant. Anyway, what they may do is you may actually get the gross amount, right? So they won't take taxes out, but then when it comes time to file your tax return, I think there's a place there where it says, did you receive any any short-term disability benefits?
Yeah.
And then if you say yes and you put and they're gonna know, because that is all through a system, then that's when I think you pay taxes on it.
Yeah, but there's remember, I have to pay medical bills too, so
That's true.
That could even out.
That could even out, so you'll get a deduction.
Yeah.
So what you have to say is, they'll have the amount that you got in short-term disability benefits.
Yeah.
But in that same section of the tax form, you're right. Or it's a different section. It's the deduction section, but you're right. Depending on how much your medical bills were out of pocket, you will get to take a deduction.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you, that threshold is pretty high. Like, you got to come out of pocket for medical bills fairly high in order to take that deduction. Yeah, I think you've met it. It's like, I forget, I think it's 2% of your adjusted gross income. I could be wrong there. It's either 2% or 2.5%, and they may have adjusted that. But if it gets up to that, yes, you can deduct that.
Yeah.
But if it's like $1,000 and you make $100,000 a year, you could piss in the wind on that. They're not gonna let you do it. But if somebody made $50,000 a year and their medical bills were $5,000, that like out of pocket $5,000, they can deduct that. So you just got. Yeah, we'll check that out. As long as, and just make sure that the payment when you made that you've got the, you know what I'm saying, the stuff on your iPhone or somewhere that shows that you made that payment. Because that is something that they'll audit. Like whenever you make a deduction, because most people don't make that
payments.
Yeah, well, no, they don't take that deduction because they never make enough they never have to come out of pocket that much, right? You think about it, the amount of people that have to come out of pocket more than 3% of their adjusted gross income for medical bills is pretty small, right? So it's real easy for the IRS to audit that stuff. But if you've got it, like as long as you've got the payments that you made, like whether it was through credit card or through a check, you've got that saved somewhere, you're good to go. And you can, and that deduction's a big deduction. Like you take that.
What about the bills that I ain't paid? Like
what do you mean that you haven't paid?
Like, you know, I got radiology bills. I got bills from emergency room.
Well, once you pay them, then you can take that deduction.
Well, emergency room, I got a payment plan. I've been paying them like
then that whatever you're paying to that payment plan, that is deductible. That's a medical. But I mean, technically, yeah, you got to pay it before you can deduct it. Because there's nothing to deduct if you didn't pay it, right?
I got to.
Nice.
I could pull it out for medical bills, right?
If you use it for medical, you.
Really?
Yeah, I believe. Let me check. So I've got two things to check on you. How they do taxes on short-term disability. So remember these for me. Taxes on short-term disability benefits. I am pretty doggone sure.
Yeah. All right, I could do that then.
I think so. Well, let me double check that.
Yeah, okay.
But you probably wouldn't have to. I mean, are the medical? Well, I mean, you don't have to tell me, but like because you got insurance. But is it just to the point where you've gone through so many surgeries and been in there so long that even the deductibles built up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
You know, it's out of pockets.
That's not bad at all, though, dude. For everything you've been through,
for like a $70,000 surgery.
No, I guarantee you, it was more than 70,000.
And I got another one coming up.
Yeah.
But the other one coming up, I got to meet my deductible.
Well, you'll pay less for that. Oh, that's true because it'll be next year, right?
Yeah. So
yeah. So if you could have gotten both of those in the same year, you'd have been golden. But anything that comes after that for next year, you don't pay. That'll be it. Here's the deal. Let's just be blunt. You're getting back-to-back surgeries within 3 months of each other. Yeah. You're going to be going to the doctor quite a bit for the next couple of years, right? Even if it's just for checkups. Yeah. So you're going to meet that deductible for at least the next 2 years.
So I should be good, though.
Yeah, you'll be good. You'll be good. And that's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that your short-term disability is so good.
Yeah.
Because that is good, and that's like one of the better ones. Yeah. Like if it's not taxed on the way, so like literally you're getting, I mean, compared to what you're used to getting net, like essentially you're bringing in on a cash in, cash out. Now you got to think about it at the end of the, but we can worry about taxes later on. Yeah. In fact, the taxes for this short-term disability, you ain't got to worry about for another year and a half because that's not going to show up on this year's tax return.
Oh, it won't?
Just a minimal amount, right?
Yeah.
It'll be next year's, right? That'll have them. Well, let me take that back. How long? When did you start short-term disability?
Shoot, like last week.
So not so
the fourth.
Okay, so you'll only have 2 months of short-term disability.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's going to be pretty negligible for this year. I mean, you're going to have to disclose. It's going to be on your tax return, but like I said, 2 months out of 12, that ain't nothing. Now next year, half your year may be on short-term disability, right? Because you're not going to be able to go back to work like you're used to until you're a few months out from your back surgery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could potentially be on short-term disability for damn near half the year next year.
Yeah, well, I could only do 26 months of, 26 weeks of it.
Well, that's half a year.
Yeah, that's half a year.
Yeah. So you'll have 2 months and then 4 months.
Yeah.
So you're good through the end of April.
Yeah.
So sometime in early May, that's when you've got to be like, hey, I need to get back to work or figure something else out in the meantime before they get me back to work. But let's do the calendar on your surgeries. So when are you getting your back surgery? Do you know? We know you're getting your MRI next week, right?
They'll give me a appropriate. Well, I got another appointment with my doctor.
Yeah, going. I'm on a minute. 82 and a 70. Perfect. That's awesome. Go ahead.
Okay. Wow, it's doing it by itself?
By itself. All of this has been by itself. Have you seen me touch the steering wheel or the accelerator? The
really quick though, so do they know when the police is behind them?
No. Well, that's a good question.
I'm pretty sure they know if
it's interesting because this thing's being driven by a neural network, which works like a brain, like a human brain.
Yeah.
So I wonder if eventually, if it isn't now, it will be smart enough to know that a police officer is behind it.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, there won't be a human police officer pulling it over.
Yeah.
It'll be another robot.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the calendar for your surgery.
Yeah. So if I can't work, then that's when I got to do long-term disability.
Gotcha. Now that's gonna be not as good as short-term, right?
I don't know. It's probably the same thing, just long-term.
Yeah, we'll have to look into what your long-term disability benefits are like. Generally speaking, they're not as much of a monthly amount as the short-term disability.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because if you're on long-term disability, that means like you're probably not going to be able to ever go back to work, right? I mean, long-term is long-term. So you're probably getting other benefits as well, like Social Security or something like that. About like specifically, like if you're on long-term disability, that generally means you've been severely injured and you can't go back to work. So you're getting that, plus you're getting Social Security, right? Because if you were to be so injured by your job that you couldn't go back to work, you could start drawing Social Security benefits early.
Wow.
Yeah, that I do know, because I've known some folks that happened to. But it wasn't just Social Security they were drawing other things as well.
So they're getting money. They're just getting paid.
Well, I mean, honestly though, they're not getting as much as they used to back when they could work. Because back when they could work, they were getting paid $40 an hour, working 20 hours of OT every week. Now they're not having to work, but honestly, their cash in, cash out, yeah, they're not making as much as they used to. And the reason I say I noticed, like, because obviously my clients used to be oil and gas company, oil field service company. So I'm not going to go into obviously any specific details on that, but unfortunately, their employees would get injured from time to time. And so I would see all the data on that. And you would see it, yeah, they would have 3 or 4 different streams of income coming in, but none of it ever matched them getting paid, full OT out there on a pipeline or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like those guys get paid. I mean, you're getting, pretty good income. Like they were easy 6 figures, right, with OT. And granted, they're not able to work anymore, so they're not breaking their back for that oil field service company anymore. But they're also not bringing in as much income, right?
Trump said he ain't gonna tax in overtime.
Hey, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, that would get. He already had most of the construction crew industry.
Yeah, but how are you gonna tax on robots?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be blunt. The stuff that you do, it's gonna be a while before. I mean, well, let's be blunt 2 ways. Eventually, that day is gonna come, right? And I think you're living proof of society would probably say, we want that to happen. Look what happened to you. I'm literally driving you home with a neck brace around your neck because you had to give up 2 of your discs in your body so that you could give to society by building.
Yeah.
Right? And so overall, society would say, well, we don't want that to happen. We don't want this, shit like so eventually. But is that in a year or two? No. There's no way that a robot is going to be able to do everything that you do on a daily basis all day long and do it as well. But if you want me to be honest, do I think that day could come in 10 to 15 years? I'm just going to be honest, Sin. I really do think it will happen.
Yeah.
You'll be nice and retired. Or what'll happen is they're gonna need folks to train those robots. Like, I mean, it's not like you can just build a robot and bam, it goes out and does rebar and foundation and everything that you do. It's got to be trained. Well, guess who's going to be doing that training? Folks like you. And so what always happens in these transformations is you end up needing more people to be involved in that. It's just doing different work. And guess what? You get to keep your spinal fluid and you get to keep the whatchamacallit. What are those 2 things they took out of you again? Disc.
Oh, the disc.
Yeah. All right, dude, get on over. All right, well, you didn't want to get over, so we went ahead. Excuse me. So, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But if you're asking my humble opinion, it ain't going to be in the next 2 to 3 years. That I think the robots are going to be doing some real world stuff in the next couple of years. But I don't think it's going to be like soup to nuts construction work. I think I think the folks that think that'll happen have never worked construction.
Yeah.
I think if you ever work construction, even for a summer in your life, it's going to happen, but it's going to Texas smoke. I didn't see any. I haven't seen him much lately. He comes in, like I said, he works during the, he leaves at around 11 o'clock in the morning and he gets home at about 2 at night. So his hours and my hours are like completely flipped. So he could be, but so I get the sense that he's just been working and then he gets on his computer for a while and then goes to work. Well, he goes to sleep and then gets up and does it all over again.
He's supposed to be going to Oklahoma?
Yeah, but he doesn't have a firm date yet. I asked too about that. Like, he is definitely going to Oklahoma for like a training thing, but he doesn't have a date set yet for that, is what she told me. It's just they don't know when he's going. But no, there's no
Two's driving my truck?
Yes.
Okay. She's still letting Angel use her car, huh?
Yep. Until you need your truck back. All right, take a left here. There we go. Yeah, so have they cleared you to drive yet? Or I'm assuming looking at you, you're not cleared to drive. Yeah. So yeah, 2's been driving your truck. I don't know what happened to Angel's car. I thought, or did Angel and her have a car together?
They never had a car. I never seen.
No, they had a car. But maybe it was just Angel, the boy Angels. No, he definitely had a car because he has to get back and forth to work. So yeah, we got a full house right now. We got, well, no, we don't have a full, because Knee's not here right now. Okay. Knee's back in California. So we've got Justin, we got you, we got Angel, and we've got Jamie.
Jamie?
Yeah, Jamie's here right now too.
Oh, what happened to her apartment?
She had to get out of it, I guess. She's working.
Yeah.
She changed, so she's still doing the car saleswoman, salesman, salesperson,
yeah,
sales non-binary individual. She's still doing that, but she changed dealerships. So she's still with Gilman, but she switched over to Subaru.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened there. Like, yeah, I think she still has an apartment with somebody down in Rosenberg, but because she changed dealerships, I think she's back up north here. I think that's the case. So that's why she's staying with us for a little while until she gets her own place. Oh.
You know, man, I love my little sis.
Say that again?
I love my little sister. She's
oh yeah.
I don't know. Which room am I in? That game room?
I don't know. You're gonna have to ask 2, because I know that I think she was gonna move Jamie out of her room so that you could have a specific room. The only thing I told 2 is you definitely need to make sure that he's got like a nice TV setup. So I don't know if 2 has done anything. Let me exit out of this real quick. I don't know if 2 has done anything for a specific room for you, so you're going to need to contact her directly about that. I'm gonna pull over here and let me just, all right.